Hello, good morning. Nice to meet you here. I ought to make this fast because it's almost midnight and I don't eat anything yet, so I kind of in middle of starving right now. So I need to finish it and then going to the restaurant or probably a cafe. It's not really a restaurant or cafe. Probably it is, but it's very cheap. It's less expensive than probably you think because at the moment, as you know, that I need to limit my budget and that's kind of I can't afford to something that costly. And then I not write anything yet today. And also yesterday I only wrote about 200 words. It's kind of shame because it's far less than my goal. It's 1,000 words. And then today it almost midday and I even don't write a single word. So I need to make it fast and doing another task. But it's different story that okay I want to share about what I'm heard lately. There are many I heard about about India's who launch a rocket into the space into the moon and from India also join this join what we call it space race with China's and Russians and United States to landing people there to land people in the moon. So it's very interesting competition. Even though I still wonder whether outside Earth there's have another intelligence creatures, not only human. They're what you say makhluk hidup that like plantations, animals, and humans live out there, out of the earth. It's very interesting for me to look into our space and wonder whether we are live here in the world, in the universe alone, or not alone. There are another creatures like us who also looking for our existences in Earth. And if in the case if they are really an exist creature outside our planet, and what interesting is to know who will find each other first time. Like imagine that you all live in the old continents like Asians and Europe, and then there are new continents like South Americans, Indian people in Americans in the South and North, like Inca and Maya, and then we live in different space and we don't know each other that other creations, other people like us live in the far distance and share the world together. We're just thinking that we live in Asia and Europe, tend to think that we live alone in this continent without any existence of another continent. So do the people who live in the Americans, and they think they only people who live on the planet on Earth. But at the moment that people in Europe, because advance of technology, they find that these people in the American and unfortunately colonize them, slaves them, and then stole their wealth into these new continents. Imagine if this kind of nightmare happens in our planet, in Earth, that some intelligent creatures out there finds Earth and then take our resources, make us as a slaves, and then take our wealth into their planet. It will be very scary. It probably become end of human civilization on the planet, on the earth. And probably a really kind of science fiction, but the history tell us that thing is happens in our own planet. In our It happened in our own history and it repeats again and again, like people in the native people in Australia, and also native people, small people live in the small islands in the New Zealand. I'm read this book called Gums, Tales, and whatever it is. It is, and also the Sapiens. That's a book written by Yuval Noah Harari. If you are interested in a human history, you probably hear about this book, about this book I'm talking about. And it's written again when the advanced civilization um, explore a new territory, and then they are much murder these native people or these native creatures, whether it's people or animals or plantation. And it probably can happen to us for our planet if there are smart people, a smart creature out there, and they find us first. Yeah, it's have a chance it will be happen, right? Even though at this moment people looking into this creation, this probability that there are a second planet that can creatures that can live, sustain living there. This is what I'm read an article nowadays about it, and also I'm read the news from the Reuters, from Reuters news agency today. Not really positive stories for positive news. It's about wars. Not really wars, but I don't really sure how to call it, but it's not. It's something bad happened in Myanmar. Myanmar is a country in Southeast Asia. It's part of ASEAN continent, and then there's still going on. The problem still going on there in the country, and I hope this country make a peace in the future soon as possible, and we as a people of the ASEAN nation can contribute to make a piece of this country, even though in the ASEAN's policy, it is from my opinion, of course it can be wrong, that ASEAN stands to not interfere a problem within the country, because to respect, to give the boundary, to respect this country independency. And then so as a so Indonesian government can can they give help into this country to make a peace, but they can like interpret the country too deeply into this country's problem. It's very probably kind of different with NATO or probably European unions, because ASEAN's mostly about economics, and yeah, economic and culture, also about politics, but less about military. It is. But of course, we hope that the peace will people there live in a peace zone, and then I hope that I heard a good news in the future. Even though I kind of pessimistic, because it's very hard to because there are no significant movement for a peace talking in recent years about this problem in Myanmar. And also, I watched this news about Vietnam who bans Elemental, the new Disney movie Elemental. I forget about it. And Vietnam's banned this movie because of pro-China's 9 days lands, which is include of some regions of Vietnam, also disputes with the Philippines and also Brunei and Cambodia and also Myanmar and Indonesia too. There are include some Indonesian territory water in international law. So, but I think Indonesia not really want to include into these disputes. I don't really sure the reason why, because I think it's more like a politics reason to maintain a peace between to maintain a good relationship, bilateral relationship between our government as Indonesia and Chinese government. So, but I think Indonesia make a really clear that Indonesian accept the international law about Indonesian territory. So there no argue about this. There no, what you say. There not I don't want to say its opinion. I mean, there's not argue that Indonesia will not tolerate about the border of Indonesia, even though publicly Indonesian not explicitly condemn this nine dash line in China, and also there are some tension there in the territory in the Natuna water because of some Chinese fishing ship from Chinese going there to fishing illegally in Indonesian territory. It's very hard to eat to give opinions about this political issue between Indonesia and China. But I think Indonesia not really interested to in war or something that really harm Indonesian economy to doing disputes with China, because Indonesia more like a peace country that not really open war into another country. Indonesia don't really have many records about it, even though there, of course, there are some of these kind of disputes and then probably war between Indonesia and East Timor, and then also there are tensions between Indonesia and Malaysia when we are live in under Sukarno rule, but it happens many years ago. So young people like me tend to forget this history, so we don't really talk much about it. We just learn it in the school, but probably for one or two meeting in the class, but we don't really talk about it because it's part of our story, and that probably history, in my opinion, history is very important. But what it's very dangerous if we, as a nation or civilization, to immerse into the glory of victims in history, and try to ignore the future of the nation. I think thinking about the future is more crucial for us than thinking about what happened in the past, and then how we can do to make sure that our country become more independent and strange to and have global position bargaining in the future to advance our education, our culture, and also technology to prepare our generation um, become skilled to grab the future of the nation. I think it's more important for us instead of live in the past. Of course, it's only my opinions, and it's very I'm very often for someone who think it differently than myself about these opinions, and if you really have different opinion, you can tell me. Yeah, I'm okay with it. And yeah, a few 2 days ago, I went into the traditional market again. I went there really often, so I not bought fruits this time, but I had bought some not receipt spices like cloves and cinnammons, and also gingers and another stuff to make a jamu. A jamu is traditional herbal from Indonesia. I don't say it from Indonesia. Probably it came from anywhere. This traditional herbal, but here in my islands, so I make these cloves and cinnamons and then boil them in the hot water and then drink it in the warm conditions, so I can make my health because I'm kind of very traditional about about health things about yeah. So I don't really sure with a capsule from company. Is I more prefer into herbal herbal, like, or even like eat more vegetables and fruit and something like that. I think it's better to maintain health, whether it's mentally or body, than eat capsule from a company. But of course, use this nutrition will fabricate from company also great, because they are made it from research, right? And so, and also our governments make sure that foods and drugs safe for consumption of the people. But yeah, it's just my choice. It's just my I myself prefer something that more traditional. I think it's because it remember me and with my me and my village. So because I kind of have this habit from my village, and I to maintain this habit, which is I thought it's very good. So yeah, I still but I just want to start again to drink this herbal spices Indonesia. I looking for pala. What is in English? You say the pala. I pala flowers, but it's very hard to find here because I don't know where the place. So I can't find it. And but I can find cloves, because we have this cloves plantation in the village, because my father is a farmer. So he plants many cloves tree and coconuts and also this pala. And then yeah, I'm very used to live with this plantation. And when the flower seasons, we tend to climb the tree and then harvest the flowers, because the cloves is the flowers you to make a drink, right? And the taste, the clove, the taste kind of like a little bit spicy. And then the smell is very nice. I love the smell of the cloves. We lay the cloves under the sun, under the signs, under the heat for like 3 days, so this become what you say, so it's not become wet anymore, it become dry. And then we can save it, we can keep it for months, even years, or many years, even 10 years. We can keep it in home for even 10 years. And that's very very expensive, yeah. The price of these clothes very expensive. I buy it for 1,000, yes, yesterday, and they have only very small amounts of this cloth I got for 4,000. Also, Chinese also expensive here, but I just took it into from my farming land when I live in the village. So here everything is about money, of course, because we live in the city. It's different when I still live in the village. This is about the village that I love. I miss very much. Beside the oceans and the beach, of course, because I like to to jump into the jump and swim and diving into the oceans. In the backyard of my home, because my house in the village very near into the sea. So every day when you sleep, you can hear the voice of wave into the sands. It's very nice feeling to hear about it. But yeah, as you know, this is become a part of me. Probably I still miss it about it, but I still thinking I need to think more about my future to complete my short story. But I don't complete it yet until today, and I hope that I can start to write again in the midday after the launch, because I don't know, sometimes I just feel unmotivated to do anything. I just scrolling into the social media, which is of course bad, whether it's mentally and physically. And I want to stop from these addictions. And please, if you have a suggestion, opinion to how to stop this, about social media thing, and you can say it, write a letter to me to say that how if you have this problem and then you out of this issue and how you tackle this problem, please you can told me how you do it. And then I got interview yesterday, and I don't really sure whether I am doing it well, but yeah, I hope that I got accepted into the scholarship, which is I very hoping a best hope for this. And if it wasn't, I really disappointed. And of course, I will take a vacation into my home village for a month in durian season, because we also have a durian tree. There are many durians. Like my father have around 100 durian tree and very much. So when I come to durian season, we very happy about it. And yeah, it's very nice feeling to live in the there. But because it's very remote island, there barely have facility like electricity and Wi-Fi and telephone signal, so it's very hard to live there. But sometimes you really enjoy it because you far from this technology thing, and then far from the news of the world that is mostly negative nowadays. About shooting in US, about heat wave in India, and about food scarcity in the Africa, and then about riots, and then about in Europe. It's very scary at this moment. I think, yeah, there, even though in Indonesia news at the moment, we just I don't just I can't to stop myself to thinking that I don't want to look this bad news anymore about about rape, about inches, about kill, about robbery. And it's just that it's not that the story, I think this kind of story can impact my mental health. It's very dangerous to hear this so often. So this is why I want to stop use the social media, even though it's very important to because we make a relationship nowadays use apps mostly through social media than real life. So to stay connection with other people, we need to still in social media, right? Because if you apply a job, you want to take a scholarship, you need this social media account. So because people who want to offer you a job or to accept your scholarship submission, they would looking into your social media. If you don't have any social media, and then it's probably not really good. They think that you are not very have much connection. So I think it's not good thing to leave this social media completely. But I really want to limit my time into this because it just can affect myself mentally and of course health, because I don't doing any exercise at all for this past few days, and it kind of crazy. Actually, I want to play badminton today, but I because I stay into my phone and then I don't make it. Yeah, it's more than 20 minutes today I spent here. Probably I don't want to complain more about life and social media anymore with you because it feels boring at the same time. But I really have myself to share this with you, and very nice to talk. Even I don't know whether you are listen or not, but I hope it kind of diary, but it make it like video. I used to make a diary a few when I was child and until a few years ago, but yeah, I don't make it so often right now because I'm more grown adult, and that we don't talk about this our feelings so often as a child. And then I try to make this video, and I just feeling that this video cannot dairy because it's talking about my feeling and about my daily life so often. And but yeah, the most important is this is I speak with an English, which just help me to to become a habit to talking in English, so I can speak more clearly and enjoy when I'm thinking and when speaking, and then I don't feel nervous anymore. And yeah, I want to say thank you for very much for you who still watching this video, and I hope you have a nice day and good day.